Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have a really special reaction that I would love to react to with you guys today, because I found it to be very interesting. And then one of my friends, I think his name is Roderick, I think that's how you pronounce it. I forgot how you pronounce it. He is in it, and I was very shocked to see him in it because I didn't know he signed up for Jubilee. But I have a really interesting perspective on this video that I watched. It's called "Can You Stop Being Gay? LGBTQ versus Former LGBTQ." And in this video, I guess majority of them are Christians, and they have their own perception of what they follow in Christianity. And one of them is intersex, and I have a lot of thoughts on it. I really do. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to become a member, be sure to become a member to join the anti woke club so I can have more people on, and I can be able to take questions from you guys. You can give me suggestions of new videos that you want me to do, and also we can have private lives together and stuff like that, and I give you a shout out. But yes, if you want to, be sure to join, and let's get started. Okay, you guys, so before I start, I'm not going to watch the entirety of the video for sure, but I am going to choose prompts that I feel passionate about talking about, and also certain sections of what they say that I disagree with or I kind of agree with. So that's what I'm gonna do, because if I do the whole thing, YouTube would take my video down. So I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to give my thoughts on a lot of this. So get ready, because I'm very blunt. If you're new here, I'm very blunt, and I don't give a fuck. There go my friend Roderick.
You're queer even if you suppress your homosexual desires. Can the agreeers please step forward?
For me personally, I would just sit back, because I think that if you suppress your homosexual desires and you say that you don't have any attraction towards another man as a man, I think that you are not gay anymore. That's just how I feel. If you don't, if you don't have sex with another man as a man, and you are in a committed relationship with a woman and having a baby, and you're basically married, I believe that you are not gay anymore. That's just how I feel. If you feel like you have changed your sexuality, what's it to me? And why does anyone fucking care, to be honest? But that's just how I feel about it. But if you're, now here's the thing though, I feel like this is a yes and no prompt. It's a yes and no prompt. It's not it's not definite. Because if you suppress your homosexual desires, but you still feel like you're very much attracted to men, then yes, you are gay. That's just how I feel. It's not black and white. This is a very weird prompt, honestly. It's a yes and no prompt. So that's just how I feel about it.
I think the idea of being ex-gay is dishonest. I think psychologically we know sexuality, though it can exist on a spectrum, is part of who we are. It's an innate part of who we are. And I think claiming ex-gay is claiming that you've changed some part of you that I don't think can be changed. And I think it's one thing to say, I've chosen not to lean into my desires. It's another thing to say I've been healed from or completely eradicated those desires.
I disagree with him wholeheartedly, because I feel they claim that sexuality is a spectrum, right? So why can't someone change their sexuality? Why can't someone stop, doing homosexual acts, and they live their life as a heterosexual person? If it's such a spectrum, why can't you change it? That's just how I feel. I find it hypocritical, and I find it to be very demeaning to claim that someone cannot stop their homosexual acts and actually live their life as a heterosexual person. I think that it's not harmful. How is it harmful to what someone else do in their life? How does that impact you? You're gay, you're happy, you're free, you do whatever you want, you don't suppress your desires, you're not ex-gay, you're not in a heterosexual relationship. How is that harmful to you for what you do in your life to what the ex-gay person does. Like, if that ex-gay person's happy and they don't have any desires towards a man anymore as a man, and they're in a committed relationship with a woman and they're living a nice life, how is that harmful to you? And how can you tell them that that's harmful to themselves? That's just how I feel about it. Like, I don't think that it's harmful to say that you're ex-gay. If you're ex-gay, okay, do you? I don't give a fuck. Like, that's how it should be. Like, why is that harmful to anyone else? What? Just stupid.
Within me.
Yeah, I agree. While I want to like honor and respect each person's individual journey,
But you
and their
don't
own
respect
identity,
it.
an orientation just can't be changed.
It can.
You can live it out in a different way, but it is how you were created. And psychologically speaking, it is damaging, actually. It leads to depression and anxiety and obviously like suicide or suicidal ideation. That the fruit of trying to change actually is damaging to one's soul. And
I don't agree with Candace. I do not agree with Candace. Like for instance, like Gigi Gorgeous. She used to be Gregory Gorgeous. Remember Gregory Gorgeous? He was a gay man. He used to be, predominantly going out with men, and even throughout like her transition when she became Gigi Gorgeous. But then look at her now. She's literally with a, biological woman right now, married to a biological woman. I think as life goes on and we have different experiences in life, we can indeed change our sexuality. Period. Like, I don't believe that it's damaging your psyche, because look at Gigi Gorgeous. She's happier than ever. She has transitioned from male to female. She has also dated men, but stopped that entirely, and now she dates a biological woman. Now, I know that the biological woman has transitioned to a man, but before then, that biological woman, Nat, whatever her name is, was a biological woman and lived her life as a bulldagger. Okay? So, I don't believe that no one can change their sexuality. Like, what if I become attracted to a woman? Is that damaging to me? I'm attracted to that woman. And what if I live my life forever with that woman and be married with that woman and have kids? I'm definitely heterosexual. I used to be ex-gay. That's how it would be. But I'm not that. I'm a gay man. I like men. It doesn't, like, I don't get it. It's like y'all claim to be a spectrum. It's definitely a spectrum. I do believe in that.
For myself, as a Christian, as a believer in Jesus Christ, I believe in the
I like
power of
Prashaka.
words.
He's
I
very
believe that
stern
we
in
can
his
be
beliefs.
completely delivered from homosexuality, not only because of what the Bible says, but because of my personal story. I used to have sex with men. I used to,
Now, here's the thing with Rashad. Like, I don't. Here's one thing I don't like about Rashad. You cannot, expect everyone to live through God, your religion. Okay, you cannot force down anyone else. Just like these people who literally can't believe that people are ex-gay. I don't want to act on homosexuality. I don't believe that you should force your ideology on them and call them depressed, or call them it's mentally harmful to change your sexuality and suppress your sexuality and never think about it or never act on it. I think it's wrong to say that as well. I think that if Rashad feels like that he's been healed and he's living his life as a heterosexual man and he is with a woman, he's probably going to be with and have a kid and marry this woman or whatever have you, then yeah, he is an ex-gay, and I don't think it's harmful. I don't think that it's wrong to admit that he was an ex-gay. He admitted that he's ex-gay. I mean, Gilbert admits that he's gay and he loves men. Okay, Gilbert, that's your personal experience. His experience is way different from yours, and that's totally fine. If he feels like that he is an ex-gay and that he doesn't want to be with men anymore, that's fine. He doesn't want to be with men anymore. How does that affect you? It doesn't affect you. That's how I see it, okay?
So says that those who approve of such things or those who practice such things will endure hellfire.
And
I
that's
think I'm
his
probably the most unique person
that's
here
his own
because
perspective.
I firmly believe, first of all, sexuality and gender are not a choice, and I say that as an intersex person. So I don't know if you guys understand what being born intersex means. You might have heard the term hermaphrodite. I was born with a condition called
intersex person, someone born with a combination of male and female biological traits. There are several different intersex conditions, yes.
Chappelle syndrome. I'm chromosomally a female, but there was a gene mutation on my dad's Y chromosome that caused me to develop harshly male. And then when I finally was starting to hit puberty, I was actually developing more like a female. And
Okay.
I don't know, I just think it's disingenuous to say that like sexuality or gender is a choice, because I never got the choice to be diagnosed with the intersex condition that I have. I think that there's a lot of things we just don't understand about sexuality and gender. So I come from a scientific place. I don't come from a religious place.
So I'll say this.
Here's the thing with her. She is a female. Like, yes, you was growing up most likely dominated by the male parts that you were born with or whatever like that. But as you grew up, she says that she was basically a female. I mean, as I look at her, she is a female. Her chromosomes say that she is a female. She, in the video, she also talked about like she grew breast tissue, so she is she is predominantly a female. So yes, of course, she didn't get to choose to have that deformity or like that condition of being an intersex person, but that is so different from what being trans is. That's so different from being gay as well. I don't believe that, like, I think that is a biological anomaly that happens rarely to some people in the world, and it has nothing to do with the LGBT community. And I think that it's weird that just because you're intersex, you are in that category of being trans. Like, no, that doesn't. How does that validate being trans? That trans person wasn't born in the wrong body. I'm sorry. Like, you have an actual scientific backing to back up why something happened to you when you were born. Like, you just had a deformity. You had some type of issue. It's no different than almost like a person, like a child that has Down syndrome. Like, the world isn't perfect. No one's born perfectly. But just because you had a condition doesn't mean that validates transgenderism. Because transgenderism is a mental issue. It's like, it's something that you're not born with, really. It's like something that develops over time. So I believe it's really different. I don't think it should be in the same category as trans or gay, period. And I don't think that a baby can be a gay baby. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I believe that like our sexuality develops when we grow up and we choose whether or not we are attracted to a man or a woman. Like, it is what it is. That's just how I feel. And those desires and those I believe that like our hormones and everything plays a big factor in that, our environment, everything like that. So
Agree that having same-sex attraction is not a choice and stuff, because I had same-sex attraction since preschool and stuff. I didn't have that choice and stuff. I was like, oh, why am I attracted to guys like how girls and guys normally are attracted to each other? But I definitely will say, like, as a Christian, from a theological standpoint, you do have a choice to act on it or not, and God gives us the power by the strength of the Holy Spirit to have us walk in a life that is holy and pure and righteous before Him. In service.
yes, I do agree with Roderick so much, because like it is true, we do have free will. If we don't want to commit sexual acts with like the person of the same sex, we don't have to. But guess what? We have free will. I choose to. I like men. I like dick. Like, I'm not going to stop. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop. And on my day when it's time for judgment to be upon me, I would have to deal with that. I would simply have to deal with that. But I would continuously, pray for forgiveness, obviously, and also try to be on the path of goodness in whatever way I can. I'm not always a nice person. I know I'm not a nice person. I'm friendly, but I'm not nice. But I think that God do know our hearts. And I think that, like, personally, I think that He wouldn't give me the things that I have or what, in this life. I'm so blessed with everything. Like, I thank you so much, God. But, like, I do believe that He is on my side despite my sin, for sure. Even though He hates the sin, I think He does love me because I am created in His image. And I believe everyone is, but, not everyone's going to have the same perspective like I am. But, yeah, I do agree with Roderick. We do have the free will to act on these desires. And if we do, we do. And then, if you believe in God, you have to face that judgment one day. That's just how I feel.
What always breaks my heart is that you have pastors that are singing worship songs like "Break My Heart for What Breaks Yours," "Open Up My Eyes to Things Unseen," and they are able to have this palatable way of accepting LGBT people by calling them same-sex attracted. But then when we come into their church and we're like, but okay, yeah, if you want to use that language, but we're gay. These orientations don't change.
What's the difference? Like, you're same sex attracted, well, you just want to be called gay? Like, okay, like, You're same-sex attracted. What's so offensive about that? I don't get it. Like, I'm same-sex attracted. What do you want him to say? Call you homosexual? Do you want what you just want words to feel, to make you feel validated, okay? If you're secure in yourself, you don't need someone to validate what you are. That's just how I feel. Like, he seems like he wants to be validated so much by everyone else around him. Like, okay, you're gay. Who cares? Like that. These people, like, some of these people are just so sad. Like, and you could, if you read and listen to them really good, you'll realize that they're not really as secure as they think they are. You know what I mean? It's making my ears red because, like, they piss me off.
Like I said before, what makes you be able to define yourself?
The definition.
And that's where I disagree with him. Like, if he wants to define himself as gay, he can. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, you are a male, right? You're going to identify as being a male, right? You are a male. You can identify yourself. Like, I like to sing. I am a singer. I can identify myself as a singer. Like, who said that you can't identify as what you are? Like, like, if you're a Christian, you identify as being Christ-like, right? Some things that both sides irritate me. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go to the next prompt that I found it to be interesting, and then I'll share my thoughts on that one.
A healthy family requires a male and female role model.
Okay, so that was a exclusive for Patreon, and honestly, I know it they don't really get to say their piece on that, but I do think that, like, the most healthiest outcome for a child, I do think it is between a man and a woman. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, a man and a man cannot raise a child good or anything like that, but I do think that, like, nowadays with a lot of homosexual couples, they love to indoctrinate their children. They love to do it, and I do believe that it destroys that child. I truly do. But also in heterosexual male and female couples, if the relationship does not it's not strong and it's not structured, I do believe that it can be unhealthy for the child, because the mother can instantly, like, destroy that child to get back at the father. That does happen, and like, with a lot of relationships that fail. But I do think if the couple is very strong and structured, and they live a wonderful life raising that child, man and woman, I think it's the best way to raise a child. I truly do. Because without my father and my mom, of me growing up, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. Very sturdy, very confident in what he says. Now, they did not have the perfect relationship after my when I was a preteen, but I think a lot of the values that I got from my father and from my mother, it did raise me to be a good person, and well, I don't deem myself as a good person. I guess I am a good person. I'm an okay person with a brain that's okay. Like, I'm not always nice. I'm imperfect. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do think it's the best outcome for a child. That's how I feel. So yeah.
The Pride movement is negatively affecting younger generations.
Yes. I would sit down for this one. I definitely feel like the Pride movement is definitely fucking up the children for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, these kids are the most oppressed, the most insecure about themselves nowadays. Like, I see it online. I see it in person. A lot of these kids, they have been indoctrinated by the Pride movement, and it has fucked up, like, probably generations, because of the hypersexuality, certain types of standards in the LGBT community. A lot of different things that I find to be negatively impacting the children right now, especially on social media. It has gotten so fucking bad, and honestly, I pray for the next generation, because, like, I think that they're going to be loony, okay, and they're going to be like our doctors, our lawyers, and everything else. So, like, screws are going to be loose. They already don't want to work. Like, please.
I experimented with bisexuality when I was a teenager, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know there was a label. I just did it just because I felt good. But it was until college I realized, like, oh, there's a community, LGBT. So I was happy that I found my identity in the Pride community, and I still do have family and friends who I love who are in gay marriages. But after being born again in
just the word itself, it just didn't sit right with me.
Pride.
There's definitely an agenda behind it, speaking spiritually, right? I just think that we need to be more aware of how we use that word pride.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. I think that being prideful, from a biblical sense, is not good, obviously. But also, in general, being prideful of your sexuality, the most least important thing about yourself, is so dumb. Like, I think being prideful over that particular thing and being proud of that particular thing is very weird. Like, I truly do. And I think that that's why a lot of the young people, like, they lack talent, they lack skills, because they think that their sexuality is like the end all be all to who they are. And like, they literally put rainbow flags on their forehead thinking that that's going to get them somewhere. Like, I don't believe that being prideful over your sexuality is good. I don't. Like, be a good person, actually have some type of talent, actually have some type of skill. Don't try to think that, like, your sexuality is the end all be all and best thing about yourself, because it's really not. You're much more than just your sexuality. You can be extremely, like, an amazing person. Other than that, like, just because you're gay doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you, like, make your life better. That's just how I feel. I do think it sets a lot of the young generation back, and I think that the Pride movement encourages that. Like, your sexuality is the best thing about you, and it's not.
Literally training people like, no, if people disagree with you about who you are, about the life that you live, they're homophobic, they're scared of you, they want to be away from you, and I do not agree with that.
Yeah.
When I went to my...
And I think that, like, that alone, it damages a young person to say that, like, if someone doesn't accept you for who you are or whatever like that, that means, like, that they're homophobic, they don't like you or whatever like that. Sometimes, like, not everyone's going to respect you, and sometimes not everyone's going to accept you, but you just got to roll with the fucking punches and grow some fucking balls. You know what I mean? This world is not catered to you, and I think that's something else that the Pride movement does. They try to make it seem like being gay, like, if you're gay, the world should just be handed to you. No, it should not, bitch. Like, it should not be handed to you. You need to work hard in this life and actually put your best foot forward in this life, and not expect the world to give you everything like that. You know what I mean? So I think the Pride movement, it negatively affects young teens and children today.
First Pride event, I was 17, and I was like, oh, people like me, I get to be out here, and while I was there looking at the flow, there was a drag queen that was performing. She's fierce. It was all great. But then there was this, like, go-go dancer right next to her, and she performed a sex act on him right there in front of me.
Gross.
And I was 17, and I was one of the older people. There were kids and stuff. And everybody was cheering and celebrating. And I just felt like this wipe out from me. Like, is this what that is supposed to be? But for me, that was way too much. And in my line of work, I do work with kids, and I'm hyper aware of what they're exposed to. I'm very protective of kids.
When I was 8 years old, I was continuing.
I'm really happy that he is hyper aware and to what kids are exposed to, because, like, I do think it can fuck up a child's psyche. It can honestly make them want to do that act, or think that that's normal to be hypersexual in front of people openly like that. It's not. And I think that it's really good that he is sitting down with these other people that are, like, Christian and ex-LGBT, and explaining to them that, like, it is not okay, that what happens at Pride is very inappropriate and shouldn't be for children. I think that's great. See, I'm very, like, neutral. Like, I can agree and disagree with both sides. I think that that's a really great that they did have the courage to sit down, unlike Candace and that other, I can't even say the word, the other gay. They think that it's okay to basically let children be at Pride. I mean, throughout this video, I can't show y'all, like, the whole entire video, but, like, in part of this prompt, she talked about, like, her kids go to Pride and they love Pride. It's like, obviously they love fucking Pride because for one, it's colorful. It is going to attract children. It gives very kiddie vibes, and I think that the agenda on that alone of making it so colorful and childlike, I think that also is a way to attract children and to basically fuck them up in the brain, because it has, as we look at our generation, it gravitates them and pulls them in with the ideology. And I think that's also why the right wing can't grasp any women, and also a lot of gaze to their sides, because like it isn't pretty. It isn't like the most attractive thing to like look at. So I think that's probably why like the right wing also struggles with that, because like the left, they like to make everything pretty as well. So I think that's why like a lot of kids gravitate to that too. So yeah.
Prompt was LGBT people. It wasn't people who are engaging in sexual conduct, whether you're straight. It just says LGBT people, and you all.
She's intersex. She's literally intersex. She's biologically a female. She has XX chromosomes. She's a female. Why are you getting so mad? I mean, they sat down. They said that LGBT people won't get in heaven. You won't get in heaven either. That's what they agree with. How's it any different from her and from you? I don't get why you getting all mad. Why you getting all choppy? I don't like that.
Stepped forward. Don't give me this whole thing about, well, if you're practicing, that wasn't the prompt. Y'all came forward. Y'all stepped out and said that she was going to hell.
I did.
If she's, I mean, you guys do practice homosexuality, so you most likely will go to hell or won't inherit the kingdom of heaven. Like,
because I don't believe she was born a woman.
That's not for you to decide.
Okay, but listen.
Now, Rashad, you're wrong. She is a woman. She has XX chromosomes. I'm sorry, you're wrong on this one. She's not a man. She like her chromosomes develop like predominantly female. She's a female.
Like, you have the authority to do that.
This is my friend. I have.
That's not your friend.
Stop
it.
Your friends?
Yes, I tell them the truth because I want them to.
You don't know the truth. You know more about truth about her than she does.
Brother, the truth is in the Word of God. But let me explain myself.
Oh my Atlanta, Georgia. Are you paying attention to anybody's words that don't agree with you?
She was born with a P.
Oh my God.
She explained her story.
Not a fully
That's
developed
not
penis.
what makes. Okay.
Not a fully developed penis. I wasn't born with testicles.
Well, you are supposed to be fearing of God. That's what the Bible says. He's supposed to be God-fearing. I don't know what Bible she's reading.
Expanding. The gates of heaven are wide, and God welcomes all of us in. And so it says that your view of yourselves and of God and the world is a scary place. And it's just not. And that if you can claim, sir, that I can't be gay and Christian, that actually can't happen, because to be a Christian, the definition is for me to have a relationship with the divine. You're not inside of me, so you cannot prove.
She is right about that. You can't have a personal connection to God, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing is right, though. Like in His eyes.
Or disprove that. Just like I can't prove or disprove your experiences or your relationship with God. I am a gay Christian, and I have the Spirit of God inside of me. There's no.
A gay Christian that literally misinterprets the Bible to fit what she believes is right.
No scripture that you can point to that can disprove
she
that.
Can't admit it,
about
that she's
my
wrong.
Personal relationship with my soul and heart with the divine being we call God.
I actually do.
I don't like that she's using her therapist voice, and also there was something else in the in one of the last prompts that I didn't get to touch on. She talked about like there are like people that are struggling with their sexuality that goes to her. And the thing is like, Candace, you are a therapist that is biased. You don't believe that someone can be ex-gay. You don't believe that someone can like stop being gay and like live their life and never do like homosexual acts ever again. And you are a therapist with that bias attitude towards those type of people. Of course, those people are not going to like be on the right path of what they feel like is not them anymore. You don't believe that they cannot stop being homosexual. You believe that they can never change that. You don't believe that sexuality is a spectrum, like you like to say. You are the person that's damaging those people, Candace. I really wish that people would have said that in that prompt. If it was me on the floor, that's what I would tell her in her face, because she is the one who's damaging those people. That's what I want to say about that.
I have two scriptures.
I just told you, you cannot use scripture, sir.
But
why?
If you're going to hold the Bible above my personal relationship with Jesus Christ, then you have held the Bible as an idol.
What Bible do you read? I'm just.
Me.
The Holy Bible.
I think like a better question
Okay,
is
but
what
what
Bible do you read? What
KJV.
translation?
KJV.
Because, right, okay, so there's a documentary out now, brand new, got bubble wrap right on it. It's called 1940.
how are you gonna be a Christian and you're gonna put a man-made documentary like before the Bible, before the Holy Book? See, this is how I know these people are not really Christians. Like, I don't like. I'm sorry, but like, you're not a Christian. Like, if you don't even understand the basis of of what the Bible even said, you don't even give scriptures like these other people are in this video. Like, and it's fine. Like, they can do whatever they want, but like, don't try to claim that you are a Christian, but misinterpret the Bible and then like try to try to say that the Bible is like an idol. It's like the Bible came from God. Aren't you supposed to idolize God? Like, you're supposed, like, he is your father. He is the one who created you. Like, oh, that is my video. I hope you guys understood what my stances is on this. Here's the thing. Both of them sound crazy as fuck. Honestly, they both sound crazy as fuck. Maybe I do sound crazy as fuck too. But like, I don't fucking know. It is what it is. We all have a different perspective on this. I don't think that you can find a middle ground with these people. You will never find a middle ground with these people because they all have different perspectives on the Bible and God. They're different personal relationships with God. It's just all over the place. And that's why I feel like Christianity, sometimes I do feel like it's been invaded by so many of these worldly people, that we don't have the same path with God. You know what I mean? Like other religions do. That I see. Christianity is just so like misinterpreted in so many different ways, and so many different preachers have different types of way how they view God. It's really crazy. Anyways, that was my video. Hope you guys like my reaction. I appreciate you guys for watching my video, and I love you so much. Like I said, don't forget to join my membership if you like to. It's only $3.99. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and don't forget to come back when I post another video.